Welcome back to Impact Shooting. In today's video we are going to discuss where the new Strike Eagle 5-25x56 fits into the Vortex Optics competition sort of tactical rifle scope range. We are going to compare it against the Diamondback Tactical PST Gen 2 as well as the big boy tank, the Vortex Razor 4.5-27x56. We're going to jump into the complete feature list of every single optic, break it down into categories to help you guys choose your next rifle scope. Where does it fit into this range? Right freaking here. Right, so before we get to all the little bits and pieces, what makes which one better, I want to make sure you guys are subscribed down here. We upload twice a week videos to help you shoot better as well as make the right decisions when it comes to purchasing gear, as well as we have a lot of fun on this channel, so make sure you are subscribed if you haven't already. Anyway, right, so first thing we're going to discuss is the tube size. Now, tube size has two very important factors when it comes to designing a rifle scope. So the first thing tube size is going to do, it's going to make it much easier for the optical engineers to jam as much elevation as you long distance junkies require into a turret system. It's way easier to fit more elevation into a turret when you have a bigger tube. And the other thing the big tube is going to do for you, it's going to open up that field of view. You're going to be able to see more when you shoot downrange. You're going to have a bigger field of view, find your targets a little bit easier. So, with that being said, Diamondback Tactical 30mm tube. The new Strike Eagle, which we unfortunately don't have. Vortex, please next time send me one in advance so we can make this video the next day it's out. I won't share it with anyone, promise. Strike Eagle, which is going to be here, 34mm tube. Again, one level up, PST Gen 2. We've got a 30mm tube. And then once again, when we get to Alexa and we're running the 4.5-27 Razor on her, we are going to be greeted with a 34mm tube. Now, the next thing we're going to discuss is the objective size. So we're going to work our way sort of back. The 34mm tube, you're more than likely always going to find a 56mm objective lens on there. The PST Gen 2, we have a 50mm objective lens. The new Strike Eagle is going to run a 56mm objective lens. And then obviously the Diamondback, we have a 50 on that. Now let's chat about magnification wise between these different optics. So for the purposes of the exercise in each model, we're going to be discussing the higher magnification option. Diamondback Tactical, we're going to have 6-24 magnification. Moving on to our Strike Eagle, 5-25 magnification. PST is going to put you in at a 5-25 also. And then the trusty Razor Gen 2 is 4.5-27 for going super far. Not that you need 27 to go super far, we can discuss that, and we have discussed that in separate videos. The next thing we're going to look at is the parallax setting. Now, the parallax setting is basically allowing you to adjust the focus for your eye down to the closest range. Obviously, all of these go out to infinity. Now, with the Diamondback Tactical, that parallax is going to come all the way down to 15. Now, the reason the parallax is important for us guys doing precision rimfire, NRL 22, which is one of the largest shooting competitions in the world globally. In the world, I always feel like Jeremy Clarkson when I say that. 15 parallax is super nice when you're shooting those super close targets that are tiny, so it allows you to focus on the target as well as get your reticle nicely focused. So 15, the new Strike Eagle 5-25x56 is also at 15. The PST Gen 2, the parallax only goes to 25 yards. So if you've got something really close, it could be difficult to focus on it. Having said that, I've never really had an issue with that running my PST Gen 2 on a rimfire. And then with the Gen 2 Razor, the parallax setting, the closest setting is actually 32 yards. Okay, so it's a little bit further, which maybe does not make this the ideal rimfire scope. If you're putting this on a rimfire, I like your style. We can be friends. And that brings us to the next thing. Now, the next thing we're going to discuss is which of these optics have a zero stop system. Now, the Diamondback Tactical obviously does not have a zero stop. If you guys remember, the old PST used to have the shim system. Now we have the RZR zero system in the PST Gen 2. And obviously, we know the LTEC zero stop system, which gives you a hard zero stop 5 clicks below your actual zero on the Razor Gen 2. Now, the new Strike Eagle first focal plane is going to have a new rev stop system. I'm very excited to learn how the system works. Personally, I prefer the new LTEC system over the RZR system that came from the first generation Razor. and I just like this is a little bit easier to use, but both of them work well. Now for me, having a zero stop is not a deal breaker because I've gotten into that habit of just dialing my turret back to zero after I get up from a shooting position. Sometimes, however, especially when I'm making videos for you guys, I do forget to do that, and then I go and zero my gun and I'm shooting like way high in the paper. I'm sure most of us have done that. But for the most part, it is not something that is a deal breaker for me if an optic doesn't have a zero stop. Now the next thing, which is a super nice feature, is having locking turrets. Now locking turret basically means if I push down on this LTEC turret system on the Gen 2 Razor, the turret cannot move again. On the PST we don't have that. So locking turrets on the Razor, PST we don't have that. On the new Strike Eagle we do have locking turrets, which is awesome, and obviously we don't have locking turrets on the Diamondback Tactical. Now why is a locking turret important? For me personally, I once shot a match and I put my rifle in the back seat of the truck, and when I took it out the next shooting position, up until that point I'd been cleaning the match, and when I took my rifle out and I engaged the next target, I was shooting way off the side, and somehow when I put my rifle in the truck, it actually turned the windage knob. So with locking turrets, that's not going to happen. So you have that peace of mind that when you've dialed for your windage or whatever the case may be, if you haven't necessarily slipped that turret back to the actual zero, that it can't move on you. So that's a super cool feature to have. Again, we don't have that on the Diamondback Tactical, yes on the new Strike Eagle, no on the PST Gen 2, yes on the Razor. So that's pretty cool. And what I really like about new optics coming out, by the way, I'm very fortunate to be sponsored by Vortex Optics. We're not privy to any of these releases, and we kind of find out with you guys. Now the really cool thing about a company and any technology really is how the technology trickles down to the lower end optics, where you get something that was only available on a super high end optic is now available in sort of a middle range optic with locking turrets, which I think is super cool for the end user. And it really goes both ways, because that scope is going to sell way more units than we sell on these, and at the end of the day, the sales on these ones, on the Strike Eagle or the Diamondbacks, are driving the development of the Gen 3 Razor, which they obviously released quite recently in the 1:10 configuration. Right, so the next thing we get to is glass quality. Now the reason I've sort of laid it out in this format is we're going to work our way up. So the Diamondback Tactical is going to have the lowest quality glass, then we're going to move up to the Strike Eagle, which I haven't actually looked through. Obviously I have got a lot of time behind the Diamondback Tactical, and for what I'm using it on my rimfire, the optical quality is absolutely perfect. Then PST has obviously got phenomenal glass for the money, and then this is kind of the benchmark when it comes to glass quality. The Razor Gen 2 and the Razor AMG have phenomenal glass, so that is something important. Now for me, when I'm choosing a rifle scope, that's probably going to be the number one thing I look at, is glass quality. Okay, so let's talk about another thing which is quite important for some of you guys, depending on the use you want to run this with. Let's chat about the weight of the different optics. So the Diamondback Tactical is actually going to come in at 24.6 ounces, which is about 700 grams for you guys in South Africa, where I'm from, okay? The new Strike Eagle is going to come in at 30.4 ounces, which is 862 grams, okay? Which is, we're getting up there in the weight. PST Gen 2 is 31.2 grams, which is 884 grams, okay? And then obviously the Razor Gen 2 is a freaking tank, comes in at 1.37 kilograms, okay? 48 ounces, so it's freaking heavy. Now I like the heavy optic on my match gun because that allows me to ride the recoil a little better, and it sits really nicely on my shooting bag. So Razor Gen 2 is obviously known for being a heavy optic. Now the next thing we come to is very important, and something that I am super excited about the new Strike Eagle 5-25x56. And that is the amount of elevation we get. Now, I'm going to give you guys both figures, MOA and MRAD. Personally, myself, I shoot MRAD, or moles. I think it's an easier system to use, especially we work in South Africa with centimeters and meters. And that's the option most people are shooting, so it makes it easier to give people wooden calls and make corrections. Okay, so Diamondback Tactical, we have 19 MRADs if you choose the MRAD version. If you go MOA, you've got 65 MOA. Right, so here's the bombshell. The new Strike Eagle has 31 MRADs worth of elevation adjustment. If you go MOA, it's 110 MRAD. That is crazy for sort of the price point where this optic is coming in with all the other features. Okay, so that's significant. PST Gen 2, we're going to have 20 MRAD or 70 MOA, and then obviously with the Razor we have the 28.5 MRAD or 71 MOA. You actually get robbed if you take the MOA version in this. You get a little bit more bang for buck, excuse the pun, if you go for the mil version. Right. So last but certainly not least is the price point. Where sort of does it fit in? So Diamondback, I'm not going to give the price. South Africans, we don't have the price yet. It was released yesterday, so we don't have the price in rands. But Diamondback's going to be the cheapest. Then we're going to go Strike Eagle. Then we are going to go PST, and then obviously Razor, and then the AMG above that. So why am I excited about the new Strike Eagle 5-25x56? I think it'll be a freaking awesome introduction scope. Something a little bit better than the Diamondback Tactical, but you don't necessarily have the funds to go to the PST Gen 2. Or you need that extra elevation. You want to get into rimfire, ELR, or some sort of competition like that, where you really need a ton of elevation. That'll be an awesome optic for that. I'm certainly going to pick one up. I don't know what rifle I'm going to put it on, but hell, I'll figure that out when I get my hands on one. I'm super excited to get my hands on one, show you guys some trigger cam footage, what it looks like shooting them. Obviously, something we didn't discuss is the reticles. EBR7C, EBR7C, EBR2C, and then the new one's obviously also going to have the EBR7C, which is my reticle of choice with the little floating dot in the middle. Guys, I'm super pumped. Vortex, thank you for always pushing the boundaries and giving us the latest and greatest technology in an affordable package. We, as shooters, I'm speaking for everyone, but I'm pretty sure most people will agree, this is freaking awesome. Let me know if you guys are going to be picking up the new Strike Eagle 5-25x56. I'm certainly very excited about it. Guys, once again, I want to thank you very much for watching. Make sure you are subscribed down below with that notification bell turned on so you get notified when we upload twice a week. Let me know in the comments down below if you'll be picking up a Strike Eagle 5-25x56 and what rifle you'll be mounting it on. What's the feature you're most excited about? I'm really excited to read your feedback, and I do my best to get through all the comments. Anyway, I will see you guys in the next video. Make sure you check out my Vortex Optics comparison that we did previously at the end of this video so you can get some more info on what's happening. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.